Namaste, dear students. Welcome again to my class. Alright, so what we were discussing yesterday was internal environment of the business. And into that, we had seen that there are certain factors which are playing a key role in determining the strength and weaknesses of the firm. Does anyone remember what we had discussed yesterday? Any factor that we had discussed yesterday? Just do some brainstorming exercise. થોડુંક તો મગજ યુઝ કરીએ ઘરે બેઠા બેઠા and try to remember those things. As we do not have the personal touch, yeah, it is a bit difficult, but we all are trying over that and utilize it in a very productive way. So try to note down the important points whenever you find that these points are important, because presently the workload is less on you people, and because of that you can make good use of this particular time what you are getting to remember, to understand, to digest the subject in a better way. Alright, so what we discussed yesterday was internal environmental factors, and into that we had discussed few points. If you don't remember, that is fine, I am giving it to you once again. Alright, what were they? First was value system. Remember, we had discussed that the value system, the entire organization gets affected to the great extent. In fact, the choice of the business gets affected by the very first internal factor, and that was the value system of the founders. Then which was the second one? Mission and objectives. The third one was, now say I'm giving you the list, okay? Once again. So the first one was value system, mission and objectives. Which was the third one? Management structure and nature. That the kind of management system we have into the organization, that could be your strength or could be your weakness. That is what we had seen. If you go for a centralized management, it would be having certain benefits, but the biggest limitation of centralized management would be delayed decision making. If you go for professional management, it would be having certain benefits. It would if you choose to go for family management, again it would be having certain benefits, that business secrets are always kept into the family only. There is nobody who is outsider, the one who is going to leave the organization, and maybe the one who is going to leak your secrets to the competitors. So each and every system or the style of management would be having certain benefits, certain pros and cons. So it is up to you that what kind of management structure you are choosing into the organization and how beautifully you are implementing it. So that could be either your strength or could be your weakness. Which was the fourth one that we had seen? That is the internal power relationship. What is that? Internal power relationship is nothing but the relationship between the employer and the employee, or the relationship between the superior and the subordinates. And if they are having good understanding, they are having a healthy relationship, a good bonding, then definitely we can call it a strength for the organization. Why? Because they are always going to cooperate each other. Otherwise શું થશે? મેનેજમેન્ટ કંઈક બીજું કહેશે, એમ્પ્લોઈઝ કંઈક બીજું માંગશે. So it would be difficult to implement certain decisions when employees do not cooperate. Alright, so this is something which is internal power relationship. Then which was the fifth one? It was human resources. Human resources are the biggest asset of the organization. That is what we had seen, and they can contribute towards the strength of the organization if you have very good, committed, highly skilled and knowledgeable human resources. Now if you have all such kind of employees working into your organization, our biggest duty would be to retain such employees into the organization, and then and only then it will be your strength. Otherwise, if you are recruiting the best employees into the organization, but if you fail to retain them or retain them into the organization, then what will happen? when they would be getting a better option or a better opportunity than your company, they are going to leave your organization. Then it's not a strength. In fact, it is a weakness. આપણા એમ્પ્લોઈઝને આપણે સાચવી નથી શકતા. So human resources, the good employees are to be hired and they have to be retained into the organization. Then definitely human resources are going to be your biggest strength. Then what we're discussing was company image and brand equity. Remember, we had taken example of Reliance Ply yesterday. So Reliance is coming up with a new venture. Then people will buy the shares or not? Definitely people would be buying, and not to at the face value. The people are ready to pay even the higher prices. Shares નું થોડુંક knowledge હશે, you might, if you have studied corporate accounting somewhere, then you would be understanding that shares can be issued in 3 different ways. One is to issue them at the face value. Another one is issuing them at the discount. Now see, if you are issuing the shares at the face value, that means if a share is costing rupees 10 per share, then we can buy it at the same price, at 10 rupees. Now if the shares are getting issued at the discount, that means that the face value is 10, but company is not having good reputation into the market, and it has to issue the shares with a little low prices, maybe 7 rupees per share, even though the face value is 10. And what is the third option? Issuing the shares with a premium. So what is that? That even if the face value of the share is maybe simply 10 rupees, but the company can issue it with the premium, and that is maybe at 20 rupees, maybe 50, maybe 100. So that is what you are enjoying if you have tremendous reputation and goodwill into the market. So that is about company image and brand equity. Now see, company image affects to the organization in many ways. That was the first thing what we have seen, that it is affecting when we are raising the funds in form of equity capital. Then after that, the second point where it is going to affect the company's image is going to affect would be when you are launching new products into the market. Now suppose there are many companies which are multi-brand companies these days, and companies are not offering just a single product, but they are offering a product line or maybe a product mix. Now if company is having one product into the market already existing, and if it is having a good reputation into the market, or if the customers are satisfied with the existing product of the company, then when you come up with the second product, people are going to trust you. And that is the biggest benefit when you are having good reputation into the market. It is going to work for you. Because if you are a new company, if you are coming up with a new product, then it would be difficult. But once you have already gained the reputation and goodwill from the market, people always have the perception that, yeah, I was happy with, say for example, Dove is having 5 different products into the market. Maybe shampoos and conditioners and different categories, maybe for hair fall rescue and color protection and whatnot. Would also be having soap, would also be having say body lotions and so on. Now if Dove has already catered one sector into the market, and if it is planning to come up with another category, maybe the baby products, if Dove is planning to come up with the baby products, then the customers, those who are at present, and if they are really satisfied with what Dove is offering, they'll trust the brand. And if people will trust the brand, they will definitely try out the new products that are getting launched by the company easily. So if company is having good image into the market, it would be very easy to launch the new products into the market. Why? Because you have already gained the trust from your customers. Then the third point is, while forming joint ventures, the image is always going to work. If your company is in a good position into the market, and if you are thinking of joining hands with some other large company, then reputation is always going to matter the most. And the fourth and the last one is entering into purchase and sale contracts. So if you are purchasing something, now being a buyer, what is your reputation always matters. Now simply take an example that if you are a regular customer to a particular shop, I'm not talking about malls, but just think of or imagine of certain shops, say clothes. Now, if you go to the market and if you are going to buy some clothes, maybe a t-shirt or a dress or whatever, you are visiting a shop, you are looking for certain kind of, say, t-shirts or a dress, what you would be doing? કોઈ પણ શોપમાં જાશું, then we are definitely going to ask the salesperson કે મને આ ટાઈપનું ડ્રેસ જોઈએ છે. He is going to ask you certain questions. क्या टाइपના જોઈએ છે, whether you want it for a party wear or you want for the casual wear, and what sort of dress you are looking for, maybe some trendy or the traditional one, or maybe the Indo-Western kind of dress, and for what occasion you want it, and what is your budget. Now all these kind of basic questions he is going to ask, and then he will start showing you. Maybe he would also be asking in between, again he would be asking you certain questions કે આ ટાઈપના ડ્રેસીસ ગમે છે, આવા બતાડું, what are the preferences of colors. So this is how he is going to make out your choice, and he is going to show you number of dresses, ઢગલો કરી દેશે. Then what will happen, that either you like some dresses, you will try, you may buy, you may not buy. If you are 100% satisfied, you will buy, but if not, you are not going to buy. Why? આપણે શું વિચારશું, that we would be thinking of exploring other options, કે હજી આ શોપમાં એક જ શોપમાં જોયું છે ને તો હજી બીજી શોપમાં જોઈ આવીએ, માર્કેટમાં 4-5 શોપ્સ વિઝિટ કરી લઈએ, and then I am going to decide that which particular dress I am going to buy. Now see, this is what is the obvious mentality. We all would be doing this, isn't it? લગભગ આવું કરતા જ હશો. And then what happens, કે તમે એમ કહેશો કે ના ના, like when you tried, પછી final decision લેવાનો ટાઈમ આવ્યો ને, then you would be confused. અને પછી then what we are going to answer, કે ના ના રહેવા દો ને. Then he is going to ask કે શું થયું, what's the problem, price is the problem, or હજી તમને તમારી ચોઈસનું કે તમારા ટેસ્ટનું ડ્રેસ નથી મળ્યું, that is the problem, what's the problem? You will say કે ના ના બસ એવું કાંઈ નથી, પણ બસ રહેવા દો ને, હું પછી આવીશ. Now if this is what we are doing, now see, માર્કેટમાં કોમ્પિટિશન છે તો this thing is obviously going to happen, both for the customer as well as for the seller. Then what will happen, we are going to explore the different shops into the market. હવે તમે 5 જગ્યાએ ડ્રેસીસ જોવા ગયા, you tried also, and at all the 5 places you gave the same answer કે ના ના અત્યારે નહીં, I'll come some other time. Now when this particular thing, પછી again, you know what happens actually, this is the customer psychology, I'm telling you, કે આપણે 5 જગ્યાએ ગયા ને સૌથી પહેલી જગ્યાએ તમને જે ડ્રેસ ગમ્યું હતું, that would be the only dress would be there in your mind, and exactly we are going to buy the same thing. ઘણી વખત એવું થાય છે, ખબર છે, ક્યારેક આવું એક્સપિરિયન્સ તમને લોકોને બી થયું હશે કે તમે કોઈક ડિસ્પ્લેમાં you liked some dress, you asked the price, then you entered the shop and you said કે મને આ ટાઈપના ડ્રેસીસ બતાડો. Ultimately what you like is which was there in the display. That was your first choice and you stick to your choice. પણ આપણે સીધું એ જ જોયો ને એ જ લઈ લીધું, આવું ક્યારે કરીએ છીએ કે આ ડિસ્પ્લેવાળું ડ્રેસ બતાડો ને, I just want to try it out, and if it properly fits you, you simply get it packed and you are going to buy it. આવું ક્યારે કર્યું? And especially girls mentality, I tell you, કે આપણને એના ડિફરન્ટ કલર્સ એન્ડ ડિફરન્ટ પેટર્ન્સ ને આ તે, યુ આર વેરી શ્યોર કે તમને આ વસ્તુ ગમે છે, બટ સ્ટીલ વી આર ગોઈંગ ટુ ડુ દેટ. વી વોન્ટ ટુ એક્સપ્લોર કે ના હજી આના કરતાં કંઈક સારું મિસ થઈ જતું હશે તો ના કોઈક વખત એવું થાય પણ છે બટ મેજોરિટી ઓફ ધ ટાઈમ્સ વોટ ઇવન આઈ માયસેલ્ફ હેવ એક્સપિરિયન્સ ધીસ થિંગ કે વોટ ઇઝ યોર ફર્સ્ટ ચોઇસ રિમેન્સ યોર લાસ્ટ ચોઇસ. સો વેન ધીસ પર્ટિક્યુલર થિંગ હેપન્સ આપણે પાછું શું કરું આખો દિવસ આપણો માર્કેટમાં સ્પેન્ડ કરો, નેક્સ્ટ ડે રાતના સપનામાં પેલો ડ્રેસ આવે તમે ટ્રાય કરો તો અને પછી એમાંથી સેલ્ફીમાં ફોટો લીધો હશે એ પણ જોયું હશે. ના ના ઇટ્સ રિયલી બ્યુટિફુલ. ફ્રેન્ડ સાથે શેર કરશો કે આ કેવું લાગે છે એન્ડ દે મસ્ટ ગો ફોર ઇટ, વેરી બ્યુટિફુલ, યુ લુક રિયલી ગોર્જિયસ ઇન ટુ ધીસ ડ્રેસ. હવે આવા બધા કમેન્ટ્સ લીધા પહેલાં આવવા માંડ્યા એટલે વી આર વેરી મચ એક્સાઇટેડ ટુ બાય ઇટ. હવે બીજે દિવસે પાછા ગયા માર્કેટમાં મમ્મીને લઈને એન્ડ દેન યુ અગેન આસ્ક ફોર ધ સેમ ડ્રેસ. હવે ઇફ યુ આર લકી ઇનફ યુ વિલ ગેટ, બટ ઇફ ઇટ ઇઝ યોર હાર્ડ લક ધ સેલર મે રિપ્લાય કે એ ડ્રેસ તો તમે ગયા ને થોડીક વારમાં જ સેલ થઈ ગયો. જસ્ટ ઇમેજિન વોટ વુડ બી યોર કન્ડિશન, રાઈટ? હાઉ સેડ યુ વુડ ફીલ. બટ ધીસ ઇઝ વોટ આઈ વોન્ટ ટુ સે ઇઝ કે હવે આવું કર્યું ને, એક વખત આવું કર્યું, 2 વખત કર્યું, 3 વખત, 4 વખત, 5 વખત. નાઉ ઇવન ધ સેલર વુડ ઓલ્સો બી હેવિંગ બધાય પોતાનું માઇન્ડ સાથે લઈને જ કામ કરતા હશે. then what will happen that the seller will also be able to identify your mood and આપણી એક ઇમેજ બિલ્ડઅપ થતી જશે બિંગ અ બાયર કે આ કસ્ટમર આવશે ને એટલે કે બધું જોશે પણ લેશે કાંઈ નહીં. they also know sometimes and because of that mentality sometimes they do not show you the good products, the good dresses. પછી શું થશે 2, 3, 4 વખત આવો એક્સપિરિયન્સ થશે ને પછી તમને સામે જે ડિસ્પ્લે પડેલું હશે ને એમાંથી થોડાક ડ્રેસીસ બતાડશે. દેન યુ વિલ હેવ ટુ આસ્ક કે આ વાળું ડ્રેસ બતાડો ને, આ વાળું બતાડો ને, આ વાળું બતાડો ને. કોઈક વખત સેલ્સમેન સારા નહીં હોતી એ કહેશે કે એ તમારી એ તમે બતાડા એ જ ટાઈપના છે, આવો જવાબ આપી દેશે. નાઉ વી ડુ નોટ ફીલ ગુડ. બિંગ સેલર એની ઇમેજ પણ ખરાબ થાય છે. સમટાઈમ્સ બિંગ બાયર વી આર ઓલ્સો સ્પોઇલિંગ આર ઇમેજ બિકોઝ વી સિમ્પલી ગો એન્ડ એક્સપ્લોર ધ કલેક્શન, વી ડુ નોટ બાય એનીથિંગ. નાઉ આવું બાયર બનવું હોય ને તો મોલ ઇઝ અ ગુડ પ્લેસ, બટ ઇફ યુ ગો ટુ શોપ્સ you always carry an image as a buyer, as a customer, and that's why be careful, right? If you really want window shopping કરવાનું ખોટું નથી, you can do it, પણ આપણી પાસે એટલો બધો ટાઈમ નથી હોતો કે આપણે આવી બધી વસ્તુમાં સ્પેન્ડ કરીએ. અને ઓનલાઈન શોપિંગ ઇઝ ધ બેસ્ટ ઓપ્શન. કોઈ કાંઈ પૂછશે નહીં જેટલી વખત સાઇટ વિઝિટ કરો એ. સ્ટીલ ધ ફિઝિકલ માર્કેટ હેઝ ગોટ ઇટ્સ ઓન બ્યુટી. જે પ્રોડક્ટ ટ્રાય કરીને શોરૂમમાં જઈને લેવાની મજા હોય એક અલગ જ મજા છે. એન્ડ દેટ ઇઝ ધ ઓનલી રીઝન દેટ વાય સ્ટીલ વી હેવ ધ માર્કેટ્સ. અધરવાઇઝ તો આ બધું માર્કેટ ક્લોઝ થઈ જાય, બધા લોકો ઓનલાઈન કરવા મળશે, સેલ કરવા મળશે. ઇટ્સ નોટ ધ કેસ એન્ડ સ્ટીલ દે આર ઓલ એન્જોઈંગ ટ્રીમેન્ડસ સેલ. બધાનું સેલિંગ સરસ થાય છે ને એટલા માટે તો અવડાવડા શોરૂમ્સ લઈને બેઠા છે બધા. સો હાઉ કંપની ઇમેજ and brand equity is also affecting your purchase or sale contract. અને આ જ વસ્તુ જેમ બિંગ અ બાયર આપણી ઇમેજ ક્રિએટ કરીને એવી જ રીતે બિંગ સેલર પણ એની ઇમેજ ક્રિએટ થાય કે આ શોપમાં તો એ લોકો કાંઈ સારું બતાડતા જ નથી, આપણે નથી જવું નેક્સ્ટ ટાઈમ. એન્ડ એઝ વી ડુ હેવ મેની ઓપ્શન્સ, ડેફિનેટલી વી આર ગોઈંગ ટુ ડુ દેટ, isn't it? So same thing as an individual આ વસ્તુ જેવી રીતના અફેક્ટ કરે છે, the same way being a company it also affects you in the same way. That company, if company is having good reputation into the market, then being a buyer, whenever a company is in need of buying some raw materials, maybe lubricants, maybe plants and machineries, so when company becomes a buyer or company is selling certain products into the market, it is also carrying its company image and brand equity. So this is how your image or the prestige or goodwill or brand equity is going to work wonder for you. If you have a good one, it is definitely your strength, but if you have a poor image, I must say it is your biggest weakness. આને લીધે તમારા એકોય કામ બરાબર નહીં થાય. And it is very difficult to change your image. એક વખત જે ઇમેજ બિલ્ડઅપ થઈ ગઈ ને પછી કસ્ટમર્સના માઇન્ડમાં ચેન્જ કરવું વુડ બી વેરી ડિફિકલ્ટ એન્ડ દેટ્સ વોટ વી હેડ સીન ટિલ નાઉ ઇન ધ કેસ ઓફ ચાઇના પ્રોડક્ટ્સ. ઇટ વોઝ વેરી ડિફિકલ્ટ. ચાઇના પ્રોડક્ટ્સ જ્યારે ઇન્ડિયામાં ઇનિશિયલી આવ્યા ત્યારે કેવી ઇમેજ હતી? વોટ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ ઇમેજ ચાઇનીઝ પ્રોડક્ટ્સ હેડ? અત્યારનો કરંટ સિનારીઓ જ ડિફરન્ટ છે. આત્મનિર્ભર બની ગયા પછીની તો કેસ જ અલગ છે. બટ વોટ આઈ એમ ટેલિંગ યુ ઇઝ કે વેન ચાઇના એન્ટર્ડ ઇન ટુ ધ ઇન્ડિયન માર્કેટ, વોટ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ ઇમેજ ચાઇના હેડ? કે ચાઇનીઝ પ્રોડક્ટ્સ આર ચલે તો ચાંદ તક, નહીં ચલે તો રાત તક. ચાલી તો ચાલી ગઈ, ન ચાલી તો ન ચાલી. વી આર નોટ શ્યોર. Prices બહુ લો હતી. સો people were definitely trying out the product, but people were not sure about the quality of the product. And it took years to change the mentality of the people. કે ના ના, ચાઇનાની પ્રોડક્ટ્સ પણ સારી હોઈ શકે છે. And still we do not have any guarantee. અને હવે તો I'm not sure whether we are going to prefer any Chinese products or not after facing all this. Alright, so that's what is the company image and brand equity, and that's how they are going to work. Either they are going to become a strength or they are going to become the weakness for the organization. Let's move to the last one, miscellaneous factors. Now, certain other miscellaneous factors, I mean internal factors, that are also going to be your strength or maybe your weakness. Now, into that, the first one is the physical assets and facilities. Now, what comes under physical assets and facilities? It could be either your production capacity, the type of technology that you are using, the kind of resources that you have, the production resources you have. So physical assets means that it is very much concerned with the kind of production system you have into the organization. And if you have, maybe if you go for 100% automation, if you have good technology for the production, so these are all the factors that are naturally going to contribute towards your strength. So physical assets and facilities are, if you have the good one, definitely that is your strength. Now simply being a student, just imagine, ઘણી વખત ક્યારેક કોલેજ એબસેન્ટ રહ્યો ને, when I ask why you were absent, then they used to say કે મેમ મારી પાસે vehicle નહોતું, so I couldn't come to college. So what is that? That's a resource. And maybe if you do not have your personal vehicle, that means you are sharing your vehicle with any of your family members or maybe friends. Usually family members સાથે શેર કરતા હોય. So if you do not have your personal vehicle, that could be the limitation sometimes. In fact, આ તો એક્સક્યુઝ હતું કોલેજના આવવા માટેનું, right? You might have come by the auto rickshaw or maybe the public transport. You can come if you wish. But what I mean to say is that if you have such resources with you, that is a strength. And if you do not have, could be your limitations sometimes. કે જ્યારે મને સૌથી વધુ જરૂર હતી ને ત્યારે જ મારી પાસે વ્હીકલ નહોતું, કે ત્યારે જ મારી પાસે ફોન નહોતો. Sometimes some emergency may arise and you may be in the need of a vehicle or maybe a phone. So whatsoever resources company is having, if the company is resourceful, then definitely such physical resources are the strength for the organization. Now, which is the second one? That is research and development facilities. Now, R&D facilities of the company is definitely going to show your ability to innovate and compete. જેટલું વધારે ઇનોવેટ કરતા રહેશો એટલું વધારે માર્કેટમાં ઓન ધ ટોપ રહી શકશો. But if you fail to innovate and if you just go with a static product, એવું નથી કે static products ક્યારે they cannot be on the top. Even if the product is good and people are very much happy with the product, that can enjoy a great market. આનું એક એક્ઝામ્પલ, બહુ બ્યુટિફુલ એક્ઝામ્પલ તમને આપું. If you study the entire biscuit industry, Parle-G is even today on the top. See, when I was a kid, ત્યારથી આ same biscuit with the same packaging it is coming. No doubt, just one small change came. When I was a kid, the packaging was designed and everything was the same, but the material, the packaging material was little different because now they are giving the seals. The packet is sealed packet, but sealing was not available earlier. few years back. Otherwise, there is no change in the taste or shape or variations, nothing. And still to be on the top 40 years સુધી 50 years સુધી સેમ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીમાં સેમ પ્રોડક્ટ સાથે ઓન ધ ટોપ રહેવા માટેનું બેસ્ટ એક્ઝામ્પલ ઇઝ પાર્લેજી. No doubt there would be many other products also that you will find that they have not at all innovated, but still they are the best. And some other sectors where you will have to innovate compulsorily. Now, say for example, say technological products. If you buy, say, a television or maybe a cell phone, just within a few months you find કે થોડુંક વેઇટ કરી લીધું તો વધારે સારું હતું. You might have got a better version of the same product and with almost the same prices. Why? Because technology changes super fast. કે જેવું તમે લીધું એવું જ થોડાક ટાઈમમાં આ પ્રોડક્ટ તમારા ખુદના માટે જૂની થઈ જાય. Now, whenever you find this particular scenario into the market, so being a company, આપણે શું કરવાનું છે કે we'll have to focus great on research and development. And if you have that great team which is able to do wonderful researches and development, then definitely it is going to be a strength. Now, atiyarnu scenario, right? The entire world is passing through the pandemic of COVID-19. Now, the company that comes up with the vaccine or the medicine for this particular thing, coronavirus medicine જે દિવસે માર્કેટમાં આવી જશે, the scientist who is able to invent this particular thing, ત્યારે that country is definitely going to have the super hold on the entire world. ઘણા બધા ડિસ્કશન્સ આના માટે ચાલે છે. આપણે જોયું હતું કે ચાઇનાએ આનું એન્ટીડોટ બનાવી લીધું ને નથી સક્સેસફુલ થયું, આ છે તે છે, ઘણી બધી વસ્તુઓ, ઘણા બધા ન્યૂઝ રૂમર્સ, ઘણું બધું સાંભળ્યું છે. ઇવન પતંજલિ હેઝ ઓલ્સો કમ અપ, રાઇટ? યુ માઇટ હેવ સીન ઇન ધ ન્યૂઝ ઓલ્સો. પહેલાં તો બહુ મોટા ક્લેમ્સ કરી દીધા કે વી હેવ ફાઉન્ડ એન્ડ વી હેવ કમ અપ વિથ ધ મેડિસિન્સ ફોર કોરોના વાયરસ. ઘણા બધા પેશન્ટ્સને ટ્રીટ કરી દીધા. દેન ધ મિનિસ્ટ્રી ઓફ હેલ્થ આસ્ક સર્ટન ક્વેશ્ચન્સ એન્ડ દે હેડ આસ્ક ફોર ધ પ્રૂફ્સ એન્ડ they did not have. પછી અગેન પાછા 2-5 દિવસમાં પાછા ક્લેમ કરીને આવે છે કે હા અમારી પાસે હવે COVID-19 માટેની આખી કિટ છે કે આનાથી કોઈ પણ પેશન્ટ્સ છે કે ધોઝ આર સફરિંગ ફ્રોમ કોરોના વાયરસ, તો એને આ વસ્તુથી એ 100% એની ટ્રીટમેન્ટ થઈ શકે એ પોસિબલ છે. વોટ એવર મે બી ધ કેસ, પણ અગર આ ક્લેમ સાચું છે, then Patanjali is definitely going to rule the market once again. Last year, they had faced a tremendous fall into the sale of Patanjali brand products. પણ again, એના માટે એક નવી ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી અત્યારે ક્રિએટ થઈ છે. સો research and development could be your strength if you have a great team who can do that. And the same thing could be your weakness if you fail to do this, if you fail to innovate. Alright? પણ આપણે એવું ન જ કહી શકીએ કે if you fail to innovate, you are going to face the failure in the business. Because આપણે પાર્લેજીનું બહુ સરસ એક્ઝામ્પલ ડિસ્કસ કર્યું. Alright? Then the third factor is marketing resources. Now, whatever sort of channel of distribution we are facing, the channel of distribution we have or we choose, maybe the shortest channel, producer to customer, right? Direct channels હોય જ છે કે કંપની પ્રોડ્યુસ કરશે અને કંપની સેલ કરશે. વી ફાઇન્ડ મેની લોકલ પ્રોડક્ટ્સ કે જે કંપની મેન્યુફેક્ચર કરતી હશે અને એ જ ત્યાં ને ત્યાં સેલ કરતી હશે. ઇવન મેની ઓફ ધ કન્ઝ્યુમર પ્રોડક્ટ્સ ઓલ્સો કે whenever or wherever they are getting produced, at the same place they are getting sold also. And some other durable products, perishableમાં આ વસ્તુ થશે, right? Perishable would be having the shortest channel, કારણ કે બહુ જલ્દીથી એને સેલ કરી નાખવું પડશે. પણ what in the case of durable products, you may find the longest channels of distribution. You might be knowing all the middlemen, all the marketing intermediaries. So the distribution network, say wholesalers, retailers, agents, merchants, marketing consultants, marketing representatives. Now MR word સૌથી વધારે pharmaceutical companies use કરતી હોય છે, the medical representatives. Right? So what they are going to do? They are going to approach various doctors and they are going to do the marketing for the medicines what the company is making. જેટલું જબરદસ્ત આ રિસોર્સ આપણી પાસે હશે, ઇટ ઇઝ ગોઈંગ ટુ બી ધ સ્ટ્રોંગેસ્ટ ફેક્ટર ફોર યોર સક્સેસ. And for this particular thing, the quality of sales force is going to determine your success. The kind of sales force, the kind of salesmen we have, and their ability to convince the people. કે અગર કોઈ મેડિકલ રિપ્રેઝેન્ટેટિવ્સ કોઈ પણ ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ કંપનીઝમાંથી, સપોઝ ઇફ ઇટ ઇઝ ફ્રોમ ઝાયડસ ઓર કેડિલા ઓર એબોટ, કોઈ પણ ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ કંપનીઝમાંથી ઇફ સમ મેડિકલ રિપ્રેઝેન્ટેટિવ્સ આર કમિંગ એન્ડ અપ્રોચિંગ સર્ટન ડોક્ટર્સ for maybe some new inventions into the medicine area, then they'll have to convince the doctor. અને ડૉક્ટર કન્વિન્સ થશે તો અને તો જ એ આ મેડિસિન પેશન્ટને પ્રિસ્ક્રાઇબ કરશે, અધરવાઇઝ દે આર નોટ ગોઈંગ ટુ ડુ દેટ. And again, you will find that there is a large number of competition even in the medical field, pharmaceutical field, I mean. So when we are facing this problem, તો આપણી સક્સેસ કોના ઉપર ડિપેન્ડ કરે? ઇવન ઇફ યોર પ્રોડક્ટ ઇઝ અ ગ્રેટ પ્રોડક્ટ, but until and unless the customers are convinced with the same, they are never going to buy. આમાં તો આપણા કેસમાં તો કસ્ટમર્સ ડિરેક્ટલી નહોતા લેવાના, because they were the patients and they did have zero knowledge about the medicines. But the doctors, the indirect customers. So whenever the marketing force is approaching the doctor, and the way they are going to explain the benefits of that particular medicine for the patients, it is definitely going to determine the success of the pharmaceutical company. And that could be the biggest strength of the organization. You may find many companies, they do not go for in fact marketing intermediaries at all. They do follow the direct channels. Direct channels doesn't mean કે એના કોઈ wholesalers કે retailers નહીં હોય, but in fact whenever all the marketing agents are there, they are directly selling the product from the company to the customer. વચ્ચે traders નહીં આવે, they are not going to buy the product. That's what I mean to say, direct selling આપણે જેને કહીએ છીએ. Companies are also doing that. અગર કંપનીને ટ્રસ્ટ નથી કે બીજી હોલસેલર્સમાં કે રિટેલર્સમાં કે because it actually increases the prices of the product. શું કામ? બધા પોતપોતાનું પ્રોફિટ માર્જિન એડ કરશે. So if company wants to keep the prices reasonable or whatever, high prices also, but it may also choose to go for the direct channel, and that's what Amway is doing, Oriflame is doing, Modi Care Products is doing, even Eureka Forbes is doing. So all these companies would be having their own channel, the direct selling, and this could also be your choice. And the time proves that whether it is your success or it is your failure, whether it is your strength or it is your weakness. Alright, પણ સ્ટ્રેન્થ ક્યારે બની શકે? કે જ્યારે આવડું મોટું તમારી પાસે માર્કેટિંગ ફોર્સ અવેલેબલ હોય, then and only then you will be able to sell your product to a great extent. Otherwise not. If you just have 5 salesmen, those who are going to approach the people, they are going to make a call and they are going to contact the customers, I mean prospective customers, એના પછી પ્રોડક્ટના બેનિફિટ્સ કહેશે, તો આ 5 લોકો કંપનીનું ક્યારે પ્રોડક્શન સેલ કરવામાં હેલ્પફુલ થશે? એન્ડ કદાચ તમારામાંથી કોઈને ખબર પણ હશે કે રાઈટ, એમવેના ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુટર બનો કે ઓરિફ્લેમના ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુટર બનો, દેન યુ ગેટ સર્ટન બેનિફિટ્સ ફ્રોમ ધ કંપની. અને અગેન વોટ વી કેન ડુ ઇઝ કે આપણી અંદરમાં સબ ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુટર અપોઇન્ટ કરતા જાઓ અને જેટલા વધારે કરતા જશો એટલું વધારે તમને યુ આર ગોઈંગ ટુ ગેટ મોર એન્ડ મોર બેનિફિટ્સ ફ્રોમ ધ કંપની ઇટ સેલ્ફ. સો ધીસ ઇઝ હાઉ કંપની ઇઝ motivating people to sell the products. So marketing resource could be anything, could be the marketing intermediaries like the channel of distribution, wholesalers, retailers, traders, merchants, distributors, dealers, And again, it also includes the sales force and the quality of sales force. If it is wonderful quality, they are very much committed to the work, they are making the sincere efforts to sell the product, then it is definitely contributing towards the strength of the business. Otherwise, it is a weakness. All right, moving to the last one, financial factors. Definitely it is the backbone or the lifeblood of the organization, as we all know. You might have studied the financial management also, the basics, the fundamentals. So financial factor is, again, it could be your biggest strength if you are financially sound, and if you have inadequate funds to run your business or to start your business, that could be your biggest limitation. So financial factors, the sound capital structure. Now see, if you are more having the equity capital than that of the borrowed capital, owned capital no proportion વધારે હશે, then it is always a good thing, a good sign, because you would not be having a lots of financial burden on your shoulders while you are doing the business. So capital structure, the kind of financial policies we are adopting, so all these are also going to determine your success or failure into the market. Now financial factors could be your strength if you have adequate amount of funds available, and it could be your limitations if you face inadequacy in the funds. So these are all the important miscellaneous factors that are going to contribute to the success of the company. Now what we have seen till now, we have seen all the internal environmental factors. What are those internal environmental factors? Let us try to revise, right? I'll keep on reminding you these things, because this will always help you to memorize all the points. And એટલા માટે જ what I'm doing is, wherever it is possible, I'm going to give you in the form of charts that you can also use it in your exams. તમે આને એક્ઝામ્સમાં એઝ ઇટ ઇઝ ડ્રો કરવા માટે પણ યુઝ કરી શકો છો, because such things won't be available in your books whenever you are going to get it. So either you will have to develop your own charts, you will have to develop your own points. ઘણી વખત એવું થશે. And again, the language you will not be able to get easily. So what you can do is, you can just simply note down whatever examples we are discussing. And our examples yaad રહેશે ને, I tell you, it is going to help you to a great extent to understand the points in the real way. Otherwise ખાલી વાંચી જાશો અને theories જોતા જાશો, બસ, that's it. You won't be getting the things proper. So to understand all these points what we are discussing in this virtual classroom, it's very important that you keep on revising. હું પોતે પણ એટલા માટે થઈને જ એક ને એક વસ્તુ 2-3 વખત રિવાઇઝ કરું છું, so that it will help you to remember, not just understand. સમજાઈ જશે બધું, પણ એક્ઝામ ટાઈમે યાદ નહીં આવે, then also it is not useful. Alright, so you'll have to understand and you'll also have to remember. Alright, so what we have discussed, internal environment, internal environmental factors we have seen. And how many factors were there? Total 7 factors, and into the 7th point we have 4 other points. And what are those points? First was, which was the first one? Value system, then mission and objectives, management structure and nature, internal power relationships, human resources, company image and brand equity, miscellaneous factors like physical assets and facilities. Second one was research and development facilities. Third one was marketing resources. And fourth is the financial factors. So these are all the 7 points coming under internal environmental factors. I'll show you once again, okay? Wait. This one, right? Which was the first? Value system, mission and objectives, management structure and nature, internal power relationship, human resources, company image and brand equity, and miscellaneous factors like physical assets and facilities, research and development facilities, marketing resources, and financial factors. Alright, and see, wherever possible, what you can do is, along with all this, you can also note down the examples what I have given. I would be trying to do it, I would be trying to give it in my upcoming sessions if possible. Wherever it would be possible, I would be trying to give it so that you will have the reference કે આપણે આ પોઈન્ટમાં આ એક્ઝામ્પલ્સ ડિસ્કસ કરાય અને લખેલું હશે તો કદાચ જલ્દીથી યાદ રહી જશે. Because when you are just listening the sessions, you may get it, but later on you may forget. So value system માટે કયું એક્ઝામ્પલ આપણે લીધું હતું, રાઈટ? ઇન્ટરનલ પાવર રિલેશનશિપ માટે શું લીધું હતું? રિસર્ચ એન્ડ ડેવલપમેન્ટ માટે ફાર્માસ્યુટિકલ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝ લીધું હતું. માર્કેટિંગ માટે એમવેનું એક્ઝામ્પલ લીધું હતું, રાઈટ? કંપની ઇમેજ એન્ડ બ્રાન્ડ ઇક્વિટી માટે ડવનું એક્ઝામ્પલ લીધું હતું. સો try to remember the examples also. All right, so that's it from my side today. Thank you all. Wishing you a nice day to all of you. Take care. Bye bye.